Buddy, I racked my brain to think of a topic, and I was like, well, what could I talk about? HR? And I was like, no, this audience knows that topic. I'm not going to talk about that. I want to talk about something that I enjoy that maybe that you guys could benefit from as well. And in the spring, I particularly love spring flowers. I love the colors. I love the fragrance. I love that winter is over. I love everything about it, except I didn't know if all the men in the group would appreciate the whole flower thing, so I went with the herb garden. So every year I have a small garden in my backyard, and I always include herbs because I like to cook with them. And because I did this, I learned something about them as well. So if you could help pass out some, hopefully we'll have time to plant a couple of herbs for you guys to take home.
Get the basil.
So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the history of herbs, what is an herb, fun facts about herbs, some of the benefits of herbs, and of course, how to plant some herbs. Of course, whoops, wrong way. So what is an herb? An herb is any plant with leaves, seeds, or flowers used for flavoring foods, medicines, or even perfumes. Whoops. In the culinary arts, let me just go back here a little bit, they refer to herbs as the leafy part of a plant that they use in addition to the main ingredient to add flavor. Let's take spinach for example. It's a leafy vegetable, it's not an herb, and that's because that's the main ingredient, not an accent or an additional piece to the garden. Can anyone give examples of some herbs?
Basil.
Yes.
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Parsley.
Yes, all good ones. There's also spearmint, lavender, thyme, dill, and so many more. So herbs have played an important part in man's life for countless number of years in politics, romance, health, religion, food, and even old superstitions. Early settlers brought herbs to America. Mainly they used them for food ingredients and domestic type things like cooking and dyeing fabrics. The American Indians used them for also eating and dyeing leather. Ancient Greeks and Romans crowned their heroes with herbs like dill. Some herbs were considered magical because of their medical usage. Sometimes in ancient Greeks they were used to cure headaches, and in Asia it was thought to be of high economic importance. Some herbs were used as herbal remedies or superstitions, as some people would call them. If they kept an aloe plant in the kitchen, they thought that it would prevent burns from happening. They also thought that lavender was good for purification, sage attracted wealth, and thyme promoted good health. Some fun facts about herbs. It's best to harvest early in the morning, after the dew dries, but before the heat of the day. Herb flowers have their most intense oil and concentration after it buds, but before it blooms. And did you know that 1 cup of parsley contains more vitamin C than a small orange, or more orange than 2 cups of spinach? So what we're going to do today is we're going to plant some herbs. Now the smaller the seed, the less it has to go into the soil. I have some soil here. If you don't want to get dirty, I have a shovel. You can simply stick your pot in there. If you don't want to get messy, you can stick your cup in there.
You can go outside and make a garden.
You can plant your seeds just a little bit under the soil. It does not need fertilization. Because sometimes the fertilization will make a large plant, but you could lose the flavor in it. So it doesn't need extra proteins and stuff. Sometimes Miracle Grow will make it look really pretty, but it will lose sometimes the flavor. So if you could pass those down. And while we're planting our plants, did you guys know that all herbs can be grown from seeds? I like to kind of shake my dirt and kind of poke it a little bit, but since we are limited on tools here, it's going to be okay. I like to aerate it, kind of like making a cake. You get out all the lumps so that the water drains well. And thank you for helping.
Oop, this is not a good idea. We won't go there.
So while you guys are planting that, I have a couple of questions for everyone.
So Susan?
Yes.
Exactly, again, how do you go about, you just stick the seeds in, or do you put it or how, you know?
Yes, you can plant all of them, but you don't have to. I always plant them all because if one doesn't germinate, then at least you'll get something. But you don't have to. You know what? Sprinkle it in, and then depending upon the size of the seed, if the seed is small, it does not have to go too far deep into the soil. If it's a larger seed, you go a little bit further, but no more than 1/4 of an inch. Cover the top with a little bit of dirt, and then there's a watering can to sprinkle it with a little bit of water, and we are all set. Since we're limited on time here, I am going to open it up to ask any questions.
So are we putting all the seeds in here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All of them.
You don't have to. I will put them all in there because they won't go to waste, and because we're not taking them home, so that's all good.
I'm taking mine home.
Let me put that on my parking lot.
I'm kidding.
Here, can I have a pen, please? No, a marker, please. On our parking lot will be the scientific name.
Good answer. Good answer.
If you look at the, there it'll say.
I'll send those out by today.
Right on the package.
Write it on the package.
It's right on the package.
Okay.
Thank you, Susan.
I have Smarties for everybody who asks questions.
I asked a question.
I just like
Well, I didn't, so I'm getting thrown.
I know.
Anybody else? Yeah, keep them all. No, don't. You have to plant them a little bit in there.
So it has to be completely submerged in the soil, correct?
Yeah, it should be under the soil a little bit,
Did
but
we watch this?
not an inch down there, just like a little bit. Those are tiny. So